Good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Racing Action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. Our first race will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. A little cooler day this evening in Elora. I mean, it's still nice. Fall day. Although I guess, fall's already, I don't know, September 25th. Is it fall yet? I'll have to ask our handicapping expert. He's an expert on everything. We're going to get to that shortly, but first we have to get to the changes. Note the track condition listed as fast, the announcer listed as slow, and in race number 1, scratched is number 2, Ram. Race 1, number 2, Ram. Number 4, Don't Change My Name, is adding a screen, but the name is not changing, staying the same. Race number 2, no changes, race 2. Race 3, number 7, Love on Me is scratched. Race 3, scratch 7, Love on Me. Race 4 and 5, no changes. Races 4 or 5. Race number 6, number 1, Happy Nays. Driver to be announced. Race 6, 1, Happy Nays, TBA. Seventh race, no changes. Race number 7. Race number 8, number 7, George of the Jungle is scratched. Race 8, scratch 7, George of the Jungle. Race 9, number 8, worth repeating, is removing the Murphy blind on the right. And 9, Whistle Shooter, driver to be announced. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, 2, Ram is scratched, and 4, Don't Change My Name is adding a screen. And the second race, no changes, race number 2. It is currently 17 minutes to post time. And time to welcome in our handicapping expert and also co-host for the show. I'm down to 3 days left to go, and I have a question for you. Is it fall or is it still summer? I can't remember when it changes.
It's fall. Yeah, it's fall. We've hit fall, and the only reason I probably know that is because when I write the Horse Players Journal, I always like to refer to in the summer, and it's weird when it's still summer and you say in the summer. So as soon as the calendar hit fall, which I think was the 22nd or 23rd, I could start saying in the summer. So yeah, it's definitely fall now, Gary. And fall's one of my favorite seasons, other than the fact that it's bittersweet because we're coming to an end. But of course, football season. You saw your Bills win on tape delay, so I'm sure you were really happy about. I was going to spoil it for you during that Monday night card, but I just couldn't do it. But anyways, folks, here we go. It is Wonderful Wednesday here at the River. We've got just 9 dashes tonight. That means that the late pick 5 will not be in play. The late pick 4 starts on race 6. And again, bittersweet because it's our final Wonderful Wednesday of the season. And Wednesday is always a little more wagering action happens because, of course, we kind of take center stage for harness racing in Ontario and beyond. And it's always a rock-solid card top to bottom, and tonight's no exception. 6 trotting events, 3 pacing events, and some really well-balanced multi-leg wagers throughout the night. We're going to see the return of DM Snake Bliskin. It was funny, on Monday night we said might not see him, and I guess I hadn't checked the entries yet because someone actually messaged me right away to say, well, you're going to see him Wednesday night, and he's in tonight. Excited to see him back here at the River after his big win at Mohawk Park. He'll be looking for 3 in a row now when he goes post for tonight here. And my spot play tonight, race 4, the 6 Vera Cruz. Looking forward to that one as well. But really, just looking forward to the whole card here tonight. We're going to savor it because we've only got those 3 left, including tonight, before our closing day on Monday. But as always, we'll come back about 8 minutes to post, take a look at that early pick five wager, guaranteed pool $5,000, low takeout 15%. Gary, myself, and Conley always give you our suggested tickets. We'll go over them at about 8 minutes to post. 9 minutes opposed to the opening dash here at Grand River Raceway on a wonderful Wednesday. And welcome to the Racetrack Services Symposium attendees. Great spot for you to be. And you know what? We were so excited last year coming into this season for the new racing service that we have here, the 5/8 at Grand River. And now this year, after just a fantastic meet with that new track configuration. I'm super excited about what next year holds and the years beyond that because the feedback's been tremendous. So, yeah, can't wait to see more racing on this 5/8. We've got 3 nights left this season, but I'm already super excited for next year. But let's talk about this early pick 5 sequence starting right here in race number 1. The guaranteed pool, $5,000, low takeout 15%. And this is one of our favorite wagers here at the River. Gary, myself, and Conley always map out our suggested wagers. Feel free to add or replace as you see fit. For me, I took a stand in race number 4 tonight. We'll get to that in a moment, though. We're going to go 3x3x4 to kick it off. So we're obviously looking for some value, some prices in the first 3 races, and why not in the opener with 2-year-old trotters. 1, 5, and 7. The 1 Sweet Emily T, I think, might be sitting on a big one. The 5 Gritty Hanover, I'm hoping this one might get overlooked a little bit after that break last time. It took a lot of support in his lifetime debut on September 11th. And the 7 Abby's Medal. This is one that I was expecting more from earlier in the season. Been freshened up a little bit, and I think we might see better things from Abby's Medal tonight, but post 7 to work from. 3, 4, and 6 in race number 2. Just 7 horses. I think Nautilus B deserves to take a lot of attention in there on the odds board, but does have that break 3 starts to go, and you want to try to beat the favorites to try to get a big payout. So 3, 4, and 6 for me in there. In race number 3, the 1, 3, 5, and 6. So that race is scratched down to just 6 horses, and I've got 4 of them kind of just, looking at it like a wide open event. Like Dangerous Curves in there, but might take more support than I'm willing to get behind for a single. So we're going 4 deep there. Then we're going to really thin out in the final 2 legs. Race 4, just the 6, Veracruz. And Veracruz defeated by JG's pal last time, and Mass Money was second there, but she's not back in here tonight. Veracruz, I thought, raced fantastic. Had a lot of work to do, made up a lot of ground before the wire. I thought finished a really decent 3rd, and I'm hoping gets put into play tonight and maybe can kind of flip the script on one like JG's pal. But that's a deep field. It really is. And I think a race for many people can go in different directions. So we're going to take a stand there and try to give ourselves a chance to get some prices down elsewhere. And that might be the path to getting a nice payout in this pick 5 sequence. And the money leg, race number 5, just 2 deep, the 3 and 7. Kadabra Kaboom is one I was kind of waiting to see his full potential from. I think we saw some of it last time, moving up in class now, but he's a 4-year-old. So I think he's going to really just keep on rolling now after getting that first victory. He's got 8 lifetime starts, and it was one that I thought he was sitting on, and he did so at 9-5. I think he'll likely be a much bigger price than that tonight, facing the likes of the 7 Royal Beluga. Made a break last time from the pole position. I like the fact that he gets out to post 7. We might just see him do that delayed move again this time and dominate his rivals in there. So 2 deep in that money leg brings us to $14.40 for a 20-cent wager. What say you, Mr. Gary Guy?
Well, I did use my $9.60 this evening. We're going back to that, my standard format. In race 1, and I don't see your picks when I send mine in, but yet we both wind up with Gritty Hanover on top here. Willing to overlook the break, and 6 Mega Fabulous. So I included Mega Fabulous into my pick 5, and I just think that last race at Mohawk could be one to build off of. We'll see how that turns out here. Race number 2, Nautilus B and Sant'Ambrogio. I don't use Quick Fix, but Quick Fix is my 3rd choice. It's just that I went too deep. Race number 3, Salzburg Annie and Dangerous Curves. Yeah, I like Dangerous Curves, but I have Salzburg Annie on top, but I used just those 2 where you went 4 deep. Race number 4, JG's pal Veracruz and adding All-Star Goldie. I like your idea of singling up on Veracruz, but, JG's pal and All-Star Goldie, I just think you got to use... Well, you got to use JG's pal, I just believe, because I think it's pretty close between those 2. Definitely Veracruz gets a spot on the gate and did win three in a row before that last race, so I see why you're going there. And All Star Goldie, tough trip last time out. I just think All Star Goldie is one that, with the right trip, can also win. And in race number 5, Royal Beluga, Chip Happened. I didn't use Kadabra Kaboom off of a pretty good looking win here, but, well, I think that was in a maiden class. Chip Happened faced tougher. I think Chip Happened might just be better than Kadabra Kaboom. Of course, we love Royal Beluga. $9.60.
So 960 for Gary goes back to his normal amount of 964 combinations where we can both be winners. And just a note on, listen, I think that JG's pals in with a big chance as well. The thing for me is when I think there's two horses that might take quite a bit of support together in a multi-leg sequence, I'm going to try to side with one of them to give myself an edge over everyone else. Doesn't always work out, but when it does, gives yourself a better chance of getting down a big ticket. But we'll see what Conley's got in store for us.
And by the way,
in this
I could have
early
spent
Pick
a
Five
pile
wager.
of money if I wanted to on the Pick 5 because I bet the Buffalo Bills against the Jags pretty heavy. And I don't usually bet the Bills because I know that I'm biased, but I just looked and said, this line is 5.5. They're going to crush them.
I think it closed at 4, by the way, too. It went in the other direction. And you know what? It makes sense now. I was wondering why you didn't want anyone to spoil the game for you, but that was because Gary went to the vault, made a big bet on the Bills, and now, yeah, you could have spent more than your 960 tonight, but that's okay. Conley's going to spend more than that 960. He's going $12. He's going 5 deep right here in the opener, which isn't a bad idea. Young trotters, right? 2-year-old trotters. He's going price shopping 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. His single comes in race number 2 with the 4 Nautilus B. And I'll be honest, I thought about it. I ended up going 3 deep in there. I've been a big fan of this filly, but I just thought that maybe she's one that if she gets beat in this sequence, you can get a real big payout. 1, 3, 5, and 6 in race number 3. We end up on the same 4 horses in there. That's pretty remarkable. Race number 4, 3, 5, and 7. No Veracruz. Notice this a lot with Conley. He doesn't have my best bet a lot, and we don't talk either before we give our picks. It's kind of interesting that my best bet does not, or my spot play of the night does not reside on his ticket. And then race 5, just the 4 Chip Happened, who I'm not using tonight. I'm a fan of this horse. I just think there's better options. Kadabra Kaboom, I think, is on the way up. And Royal Beluga is one that if he stays flat, I think he absolutely crushes in race number 5. $12 for a 20-cent wager for Conley. But you've got a minute or two to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 5. Again, the pool's guaranteed at $5,000. The takeout is always a low 15%. We're going to come back just a couple minutes, take a closer look at race number 1.
field for race number 1 is on parade. 1, Sweet Emily T. Mark Etzel drives and trains and owns. Number 2 is Scratch. 3 is Road Promises, Mike Horner for RAW Equine and Mark Horner. Number 4, Don't Change My Name, Bruce Richardson for John Holding and Morley Bosworth. Number 5 is Gritty Hanover, Cullen, Kelly for Clark, Bealby, and Coyote Wind Farms. Number 6, Mega Fabulous, Paul Davies drives and trains and partners in ownership with Nicole Davies. Number 7, Abby's Metal, Daryl Thiessen for Rick Ziron at Hut Racing. And number 8 is Timel Emerald, Travis Henry for Mark Etzel and Timel Farms. Field of 7, race number 1. Let's get a look at this field for the first dash. And, well, number 5, Gritty Hanover, off of a break last time out, but we both were nervy enough to go to this one on top, and so are the fans, so we're ignoring that break, Robert.
Yeah, the fans are, and I saw it was almost a Capperboard sweep, I think, for Gritty Hanover. I thought maybe we'd be on the side of value with this one off the break and stride. I thought it might scare people away. $40,000 yearling purchase, and one that we liked last time out off of what I thought was a pretty solid qualifier. I mean, you had those 2 breaks before it, put the trotting hopples on though, and in that qualifier, I thought kind of was just handled pretty carefully to the end there. Didn't really get asked too much. Home in 28-2. And I'm happy to go back to this one. I mean, I don't know if I would take 8-5 on a win ticket, but got him everywhere in the pick 5, and he's one that if you're betting, I'd probably watch him off the gate because he broke at the start last time. If he looks smooth at the start, then maybe obviously you're good to go. But if not, then maybe hold up or even cancel your ticket. But yeah, one that I like here. Just didn't expect him to be 3-2.
Listen, you ignored the break on Gritty Hanover, but you also ignored 2 breaks on Abby's Metal, qualified at Mohawk. And did Abby's Metal look smoother in the qualifier?
Yeah, I'd say smoother, and again, and against I thought a pretty decent group as well to qualify against. I mean, she went 59-1, finishing 4th, beaten 4 lengths, and this is a horse that made those miscues. I mean, they were both near the start, both times at long odds. One was in a grassroots event, and I just thought that this is one we might see more from earlier in the season. First start was one where I think I was aboard for a piece of it, anyways, in the Horse Players Journal. And now I'm just thinking there's a value player tonight, right? I think that if she can, stay on her gates and get away reasonably well off the switch, and sometimes those sort of horses make breaks in stride. It's easier to get away forwardly placed from an outside draw. Then she's got a big chance in here. I think 8-1's an overlay. Again, one that you might want to watch off the start. This is a race, Gary, where sometimes I'll try to make an adjustment in my wagering, and even go to a horse that I didn't even really think I would go to based on their body language behind the gate, right? Because a lot of these horses have been misbehaving at the start.
Well, and look, the one thing with Abby's Metal was reasonably competitive in against grassroots and flashing good final quarters there, 28-1 in both of them. So that should translate really well here in this maiden class. 1, Sweet Emily T, Mark Etzel, but it's a young trotter on the inside. Not your favorite thing.
No, not my favorite thing, but she's been pretty sure-footed, and I think she's got more to offer. Like that first start, she stayed on the inside, sat an inside trip, and I thought finished up nicely, 29-4, 4th. Last time out, did see the outside of the track, but it was a race where Cadabra Kaboom was just kind of gone on them after he went to the lead, and I thought was okay. A minor award in 5th. Now taking a lot more support this time around. But getting in back against 2-year-olds, right? Last time was against older horses. Cadabra Kaboom was a 4-year-old. So, I mean, to me, this is kind of an angle that you always kind of want to jump on when they get back against horses their own age, and they've shown they can be competitive against tougher. And this is now 3rd start, so we should likely be ready to see her best. And I mean, Mark Etzel, we can't speak enough about how he does with trotters. So 5 to 2, I think, is about the right price, and happy to have her on my pick five ticket.
Number 6, Mega Fabulous, is one that, well, on paper it looks like this one raced better at Mohawk last time, but I'll ask the man who watched it.
Yeah, I was. This is one I was really excited about for his lifetime start, and went off at 8 to 1, ended up making a break in stride, and then since then has tried the big track a couple of times in over this surface again, and just has been able to grab some minor awards. The effort last time was okay. One that I would say, the competition in there would certainly, the ones that she finished that he finished behind would certainly look good against this group. So I understand the support at 7 to 2. Just I think I need to see a bit more before I would get overly excited. If the game plans to go forward off the gate, which I haven't really seen that much from this one yet, then obviously his stock would rise for me. But we'd have to see it first, right? So again, this is a race I'd watch pretty carefully, going to the gate and behind the gate, and maybe make an adjustment. Mega Fabulous is taking a lot of money right now at 3 to 1.
And a quick thought on Tamil Emerald, because raced okay in the Prospect Series and post 7 now. And if a couple of horses go off stride, this one could get forwardly placed without leaving a ton from the outside.
She picks up Travis Henry too, which is a good thing. And now post 7, that's the key. I kind of discounted because of post 8. Thought maybe he'd be grabbing leather off the gate, but you're right. Post 7 now, if there's breakers in the middle of the gate, makes her stock go up too. And 12 to 1 is not a bad price, so one that we've certainly liked in her previous 2 efforts.
It is a field of 7. Race number 1, first dash. On a Wednesday night at the river, as the field is wending their way towards the start. The first race, 2-year-old trotters. Are at the start of the rough, and Abby's Medal broke stride. Mega Fabulous and Timel Emerald on the outside. Sweet Emily T. Road Promises, Gritty Hanover, and Don't Change My Name. Mega Fabulous has the front right now. Mega Fabulous 2 to 1 on the board for Paul Davies, and Sweet Emily T is racing second. Tamil Emerald is forwardly placed third. Road Promises, Gritty Hanover, and Don't Change My Name. Mega Fabulous leads as they race their way off the turn, and they come on towards us. Mega Fabulous, Sweet Emily T is right there in a sweet spot in the pocket, and Tamil Emerald gets out well from an outside post to be racing third. 29-2, the opening quarter. Then Road Promises on the inside. Gritty Hanover, Don't Change My Name, and Abby's Medal. After that early break, 29-2 is the opening quarter. Mega Fabulous leads for Paul Davies, and Sweet Emily T is right there, racing position second as they work their way on down the backstretch. Halftime 1 minute. Gritty Hanover on the outside is working up closer now. Gritty Hanover is alongside Tamil Emerald as that pair is sharing third. Road Promises is fifth, then Abby's Medal. Don't Change My Name is changing position and changing it to last now. Mega Fabulous, Gritty Hanover on the outside is getting a little bit closer. Mega Fabulous and Gritty Hanover, Sweet Emily T and Timel Emerald has wheeled out, and on by 3/4 they go. Mega Fabulous, Gritty Hanover is getting closer. 3/4, 129-3. Mega Fabulous, Gritty Hanover, Sweet Emily T, and Timel Emerald now is within striking distance. Front four have some separation. Gritty Hanover trying to get the better of Mega Fabulous as they turn for home. Gritty Hanover now has a slim lead. Mega Fabulous, Sweet Emily T up the inside, and Timel Emerald, but it is going to be Gritty Hanover who's going to win. Timel Emerald picks up second. Mega Fabulous and Sweet Emily T 159-4. Gritty Hanover handled a little carefully in the early going, but off a break last time out, but was handled well in the stretch drive to win, Robert.
And parked the route too, right? I mean, never saw the pylons, and this is one where, again, like you said, Gary, handled carefully off the gate after making that break and stride last time. The breaker off the switch was the 7 Abby's Medal. We've seen that from her in the past, but Gritty Hanover just kind of relaxed away and never really went to the cones before just hanging around on the outside and starting that forward charge. But I'll be honest with you, once he started kind of grinding away and cutting into that lead of Mega Fabulous. You could see it was a matter of time before he goes past. The body language of Colin Kelly was kind of telling it all, and even at the wire here, under no urging at all. So, I mean, this is one that took heavy support in his lifetime debut, one that we were pretty fond of on that occasion. Now, 2 weeks later, comes out and really unleashed an impressive performance. I mean, that was pretty good. That's professional looking effort from Gritty Hanover. No right to really win when you get parked like that. We've seen it here, though. Horses can do it here. And I'll always say it, first up's a great place to be when you got the best horse in the race. Well, clearly he was the best horse in the race, but park the route, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
You could say it was a gritty effort. Listen, you know how much I love to split the two favorites, and they often duel with each other. Well, they did. And Timel Emerald, my theory that Timel Emerald could get forwardly placed, got away third.
Yeah, got away third. I mean, the horse breaking right beside her helped her chances too, because that one was trying to get forwardly placed, making that miscue. And then Timel Emerald lands the 3 hole and ends up following Gritty Hanover to a second place finish at 15-1. Going to really help the exotics here. And how about Gritty Hanover? I mean, this is a horse that was odds on in the early stages of the betting. Like I said, it was almost a capper board sweep, all in favor of Gritty Hanover. And this one actually goes up in price to 5-2. And there's a couple of 2-1 shots that take favoritism and Mega Fabulous and Sweet Emily T. So hopefully it plays that way in the pick 5 wager, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, and Mega Fabulous raced reasonably well, but just wasn't able to hold off Gritty Hanover at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was a good effort, Mega Fabulous. And like I said, if that one gets further placed in with a chance, race well to be third. But I think when Gritty Hanover went by after that long battle, battle for Mega Fabulous, not so much for Gritty Hanover, it kind of broke his heart, and that's why he faded back to third.
It's a 5-8-6-1 top four, and back in front of us is 5 Gritty Hanover, 2-year-old Wheelin' and Dealin' Bay Colt, owned by Coyote Wind Farms, trained by Clark Bealby. Colin Kelly is the winning driver. Gritty Hanover with a gritty effort, 159-4. First race payouts 5 Gritty Hanover, 760, 533.80. 8 Timel Emerald, 1050, 440, and 6 Mega Fabulous, 310. The $2 exactor is 78.20. The dollar try 180.20. Dollar super 462.65. The first race order finish from the top, 4 scratch 5, 6 1 3 7 2. That's 4 scratch 5, 6 1 3 7 2.
Gritty Hanover getting the job done in race number 1 at odds of 5-2. Look, keeps many alive in that pick 5 wager. Keeps my ticket alive, as well as Conley and Gary's. Hopefully, you're still trucking too. But either way, the early pick 4 starts right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool $2,500, low takeout 15%. And I never stray too far from my pick 5. Whether I'm alive or not, the numbers are going to typically be the same in the legs going forward in this wagering sequence. So race number 2 right here, we're going to go 3, 4, and 6. That quick fix race well enough last time to merit some consideration on here and dropping down in class as well. That's a 321 to 1. The 4 Nautilus B I know would take all the attention on the odds board, 2 to 5 right now. But those are the ones you have to get beat if you want to get a big ticket. So we're also going to use the 6 San Ambrosio, who's been in incredible form in each of her last 4 since Brett McDonald took over the driving duties. So 3, 4, and 6 here, 1, 3, 5, and 6 in race number 3. We're using 2/3 of the field in there, and I do think it could be any one of those horses. Race 4, just the 6 Veracruz. That's where we're going to take a stand. Now, it is a very competitive looking race. There's quite a few in there that kind of have claims to maybe get to the wire first, but I'm going to go with Veracruz, just thinking we're going to see this one activated sooner than mile this time around, and maybe can flip the script on JG's pal. So Veracruz going to be our single in race number 4. That's the 6. And then race 5, the 3 and 7. So 2 deep in there. Kadabra Kabuma, horse that I've always been tracking and thinking we're going to see more from. Well, he finally showed it last time, notching his first victory of his career in the 8th start of his life. And I think he's one that might just kind of move right on up the class ladder. But the 7 Royal Beluga, if he trots, he's going to be tough to beat. I mean, that win 2 back, I think, would handle the group he faces tonight with ease, but he's probably, even money to break stride. So that's kind of where it gets tough with him. So you can't take a short price on him. I think he will take a lot of attention in the multi-leg wagers. I think he's the most likely winner of that race, but he's got to stay flat to do so, and that might be a difficult task for him. $4.80 for a 20-cent wager is my pick 4. We'll see what Conley's got in store for us here. I know we were kind of on the same page in some spots, but he doesn't have my spot play when I plays the night. Veracruz. Race 2, just the 4 Nautilus B. Yeah, heavy favorite here. I mean, I don't mind that at all. If you think that one is going to go out there and just dominate, 1, 3, 5, and 6, same numbers as me in race number 3. 3, 5, and 7 in race 4. So star hairdresser JG's pal and hilarious Archie leaving off the 6 Veracruz, which I think might be a mistake. I really believe that he might bounce right back and get back to the win column after winning 3 in a row going into his latest. And then race 5, just the 4, Chip Happened, who, again, I think he's a contender in there, but I think Royal Beluga is the most likely winner, and Kadabra Kaboom is one that intrigues me. But $2.40 for Conley's ticket, economical option for you if you want to play what he likes in this early pick 4 sequence. If you got a minute or so to map out your winning wagers for the early pick 4, again, takeout's always a low 15%. The pool's guaranteed at $2,500. Gary and I will come back, take a closer look at race number 2 after the post parade.
Field 4 race number 2 is on parade. 1 Century Isaiah Ron Waples Jr. drives and trains for Dr. Sheila Atmore. And number 2 is Vimy Ridge Venti Phil Houdon for Steve Loughran and Paul Mazzetti. Number 3 is Quick Fix Travis Sculler for Kevin Botts. And 4 is Nautilus B, Louis Bois for Jeffrey Gillis. Number 5 is PC, Double Down, Colin Kelly for Curtis Clements and Amy Clements. Number 6 is Sant'Ambrosio, Brett McDonough for Dan O'Brien. And number 7, Lincoln's Landing, Pat Hudai for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. It is a field of 7. It's race number 2. Let's get a look at this field. And Nautilus B is the one the fans are heavily backing. Now, the recent form isn't great, but this could be a much better spot. We've seen this one here before, but that was in a gold, Rob.
Yeah, no, it's a very good spot for Nautilus B. Obviously, right? She's gotta love getting the class relief here at the river. She did compete at the gold level here. 24-1 is what she was sent off at. She made a break and stride before the start, so her night was over pretty early on that occasion. But this is obviously now a 2, a much softer spot. She looked really good on the track just now, pretty fired up out there, and I think she's at her best when she kind of gets sent off the gate and is allowed to do her thing. I just thought that, when you see those, miscues sometimes through the card there and stuff like that, we might not want to get too involved at a short price. So I think that, for me, maybe the most likely winner of the race, but the price is too short for me to go it alone.
And then if we're going to get Nautilus B beaten, which in the pick 5 would certainly be a better thing for us, Sant'Ambrosio's done enough to really get our love.
Yeah, I think that this is one that you really have to respect in here, right? Because those efforts were incredible. They really were. Like this horse's turnaround in form is noteworthy. I mean, we saw 2 seconds at massive odds, right? 48-1, 55-1, and then we saw that victory obviously at 2-1. And then last time out, I thought raced really well to Star Hairdresser, who really threw a monstrous effort at their rivals. So I would say, like, win ticket wise, this is who I'm betting in here because I think she can kind of just keep on moving forward. She's been getting along fantastic with Brett McDonald, and why wouldn't we think she's going to finish in the top 2 again? She's got lightning speed off the gate. And I think that's got to be the game plan tonight.
Yeah, and then I like the fact that you added one more that's even at more of a price, Quick Fix. And if you could get this one home, Quick Fix gets to Darapo level, also had a couple of starts at Mohawk. Then you go further down the page back into August, and you see this one, especially August the 14th here, second beaten a length to Hilarious Archie, pretty good measuring stick.
Yeah, and the thing is that Quick Fix, I mean, I remember that effort, finishing second. It was one of those ones where it wasn't just kind of like hanging around and advancing, in a race where it really wasn't meaningful. I mean, he was closing in rapidly on that winner, had to settle for second at 45-1, then obviously got beat by a wide margin next time out, making a break in stride and finished third to Veracruz. But now this is a more palatable spot at the river. Last time out, it's now winners of 3, JG's Pal, Mass Money, Veracruz. It's a tough group. We said, like, that was a real deep group. And tonight, that class is very deep again. I think Quick Fix kind of, figures in here. Maybe not to win, but definitely is worth using on the ticket. And I think that Travis Cullen's gotten along best with him as well. So 13-1. I thought he'd be about 8-1, so that's 5 points higher than what I projected him at. I think he's one you want to use in the exotics.
It's pretty impressive that you remember all those races, which, that's fine as long as you don't forget when your wife asks you to take the garbage out.
Yeah, no, I don't forget that either because it would result in bad things happening, Gary. So I do remember that as well.
We don't want any bad things happening over there in the big palace. PC doubled down. Well, hasn't scored a win yet, but at least has some top three finishes. And last race, beaten only four.
Yeah, and I've chased this horse several times. I mean, you see, one lifetime victory, no wins in the last two seasons though. The win I think came at two, and no victories last two seasons. Lots of on the board finishes. I would say like if you wanted to back this one tonight, I mean, you're certainly getting the right number at 12 to 1. You might need a little bit of help, maybe a speed duel or something like that to happen. 'Cause I think the most logical trip for him is just kind of sit back and let it all develop and see what they can do. But anyways, he's a useful horse, and I think one that you've got to use in the exotics. But I think the race goes through the 4 and the 6 here, and I would certainly side with the 6 just solely based on the price.
Now, listen, the horse that I used for fourth, and I like this horse's chances better. Lincoln's Landing. Yeah, it did tire a bit last time up, did all the work, and was a winner in a class below this the start before it. But you go further down the page, we've seen this one put in some solid miles, and overall, the one thing Lincoln's Landing can do is get off the gate.
Yeah, that tactical speed's always important. Now, post 7 this time around, and maybe we see him take flight. He might try to ambush the field from the outside of the gate. If he does, then obviously his chances improve. And stopping last time on the engine, I don't mind that as much when a horse is moving back up in class or moving up in class for the first time. This horse is moving back up to this level. It takes a little bit to get acclimated, right? Softer Company two back was a winner. I would say tonight, use horse in the exotics. I mean, would I be surprised if he won tonight? Yes, just because I do think that there's others in here that have been showing more. And Nautilus B, if she brings her A game, she's going to be real tough to beat. So, um, yeah, I think in with a chance, but probably bottom end of the exotics.
One thing on the odds board that I don't understand, Vimy Venti is taking a lot more money than I would have expected, and is coming in off of a break. But even before that, it was a little hit and miss for Vimy Venti, 6 to 1. Uh, I think Lincoln's Landing is going to finish in front of Vimy Venti, and look at the odds difference.
I think the drop in class is what people are looking at. Probably the thing for me is Vimy Ridge Venti is one that's kind of got that one brush move. Not sure that like at his best when he makes that one brush. The times that we've seen him do really well, he kind of attacks them in the middle stages and either tries to sustain an outside bid or tries to get past them. I don't think he can do that against this group. But I do think that he's likely getting support based on the fact that dropping down in class and has been picking up pieces against tougher. And I think can get a piece of it in here. But for me, off a break and stride, I'm never going to kind of gravitate towards one that's getting overbet, especially at 6 to 1. I agree with you; is too short of a price.
And if Century Isaiah wins in here, that's an upset of biblical proportion.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's a field of 7 for race number 2. Century Isaiah, Vimy Ridge Venti on the inside. In the center, Quick Fix and Nautilus B and PC Double Down. And to the outside, Sant'Ambrosio and Lincoln's Landing. Field of 7, race number 2. It is post time. Field of 7 for the second race. There at the start of the rough. And it is Sant'Ambrosio blasting out for Brent McDonald. Nautilus B is also doing some heavy lifting early and is racing second. PC Double Down, Lincoln's Landing, Century Isaiah, Vimy Ridge Venti and Quick Fix, and they work on around the turn. Sant'Ambrosio has the lead. Nautilus B, PC Double Down, Lincoln's Landing has landed in mid-pack in front of Century Isaiah, Vimy Ridge Venti, and trailing is Quick Fix, and they pop out off the turn. Nautilus B is driving now. Nautilus B is going to come up and charge up towards the front for Louis Bois. Nautilus B, Santa Ambrosio now in the pocket. PC double down. Lincoln's Landing. Vimy Ridge Venti now is on the move, and then Century Isaiah. And back to the trailer quick fix, and they head up to the half of a 27 opening quarter. Nautilus B at 1-5. Nautilus B, Santa Ambrosio. PC double down. Vimy Ridge Venti's racing fourth, and Lincoln's Landing is still on the inside. Then Century Isaiah and quick fix, and they head on toward three quarters. Nautilus B has a lead of 3. Then Santa Ambrosio. Vimy Ridge Venti shares third with PC double down. Then Century Isaiah on the outside. Lincoln's Landing on the inside. And quick fix. And the field hustles towards the top of the stretch. And Nautilus B is getting away on the field. Three quarters was 125 and 1. Nautilus B. And then Santa Ambrosio. Vimy Ridge Venti. PC double down. Century Isaiah. Lincoln's Landing is locked up as the field turns for home. On down the stretch drive, it is all Nautilus B. Nautilus B is cruising to the finish and has this one. Vimy Ridge Venti is going to finish as second and then third, 3 across the track, but it looked like it might have been PC double down. On the outside was quick fix, and in the center, San Ambrosio, mile of 158 flat. Nautilus B was the only one that you had to be on in this second race, Robert.
Yeah, sometimes you kick yourself when you waste some equity in the multi-leg wagers, Gary, and I did. I mean, I went 4 deep in there, 3 deep in there, and I didn't have to do that, obviously. Nautilus B much the best at 1-5. Didn't need to bring her A game. I mean, I think she raced very well, but she just absolutely crushed that group, and she looked fantastic doing it. So just need a little bit of class relief, and Nautilus B much the best winner, and San Ambrosio, who's been racing fantastic, I think just kind of ends up fading because she tries to stay with that rival, right? She went to the early lead, released that one, and just couldn't go with her. And Vimy Ridge Venti, I mean, took a lot of support in there and raced really well to be second, clearly the best of the rest, and did that long, sustained first over bid, that outside move that we've seen before from that one, and it paid off to be second at 13-1.
The fans were right to get on this one with a class drop. I just hadn't seen enough to think that Vimy Ridge Venti would be better than the likes of Santa Ambrosio or Quick Fix, but I was wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I was kind of not in that camp either, but I could see the logic in it. I mean, drop down in class and against a group that's much more palatable, except for the fact that Nautilus B comes down and drops down from racing against even tougher. So again, 1-5 shot gets home in the second. Still rolling in those multi legs, but the double's just $10. We'll have to see some more help from some value elsewhere to have this thing pay.
The one that you did throw in on the toward the bottom of your ticket is number 5, PC Double Down.
Yeah, he raced well. I mean, I thought it was okay, and ended up. I mean, there was kind of a cluster in them for the third there. It got up against San Ambrosio, who was tiring late, and I think again just kind of chasing those hot fractions after releasing Nautilus B to the front, kind of took the starch out of her. And then PC Double Down was able to get in the bottom end of the trifecta. So we'll always talk about it, right? If a favorite wins, if you're going to have a favorite on top, you can't go to the second choice underneath, and you get a couple double-digit horses that will help the payouts in the try and the super.
I can come back to Santa Ambrosio, I think, when he gets back in with his peeps, because Nautilus B is not one of his peeps.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I mean, 58 to the half in recent efforts tonight, 56-2. So I agree. Kind of coming right back in this class without that one in here. I'll be jumping all over San Ambrosio.
Back in front of us is number 4, Nautilus B, a 3-year-old Muscle Mass Bay filly, owned and trained by Jeffrey Gillis. Louis-Philippe Bois is the winning driver. Second win for Nautilus B, 158 flat. Fans, a correction on the mile time also. 156-1. 156-1 is the mile time. The other 3 fractions, the first, second, and third quarters, are all correct, but 156-1. Second race payouts for Nautilus B, 260, 260, 250. Number 2, Vimy Bridge Venti, 680, 410. 5, PC Double Down, 460. $2 exactor, $20. Dollar try, 37.60. Dollar super, 85.05. And the double of 5 and 4, $10. Second race. Order of finish from the top down, 6251347. That's 6251347 on the bottom. Field 4, race number 3 is on parade. 1 Ultra, Sammy Filya for John Curran. Number 2 is Jazz Bet This Lady, Brett McDonough for Roger Gebhardt and Carol Gebhardt. 3 is Candescent Hanover, Travis Henry for Michelle Sherman and Burton Betty Sherman and Troy Cochran. 4 is All Smoke and Mirrors, Todd Ratchford for James Wellwood and Jeffrey Wellwood. Number 5, Dangerous Curves, Jason Ryan for Rod Boyd and McCann Stables. Number 6, Salzburg Annie, Louis Waugh for Eric Nadeau and Daniel Gaudreau. And 7 is Rash to Field of 6 for race number 3. And, well, let's start off with number 5, Dangerous Curves. Now, hasn't made the top 3 in the last handful of races, but before that was a winner here August the 14th. The Dangerous Curves has impressed us at times and does show a flashy 52 and 3 mile and a 53 win over here. Your thoughts on Dangerous Curves, Robert?
Yeah, I just thought that she fits in really nicely with this group, and that's why I went in her direction. And I thought there was a strong possibility she'd end up being the favorite in here. I mean, she's 2-1 morning line, and I think that price kind of makes sense. Last time out, Flamborough Downs went a long way on the engine before finishing fourth, and is kind of racing around this class, but against tougher competition. I think in recent efforts in the condition claiming ranks, and again that victory, I guess, is the form reference right from the same post she has tonight. It was back in the middle of August, but I think she figures against this group. I wasn't willing to go it alone with her. I mean, heck, I used 4 of the 6 in here, but when trying to figure out who's the most likely winner, she was the one I landed with on top.
Well, and the tote board right now is trying to decide between the 5 Dangerous Curves and 6 Salzburg Annie. I went to Salzburg Annie, although I am a little afraid that Dangerous Curves, 4-year-old mare against a 3-year-old filly, and may have more overall speed. Now, look, you see those last 2 races at Flamborough Downs, you might think, well, geez, the speed isn't that impressive. Flamborough's not quick. Plus, it's also a half-mile track right now, and well, likely to stay a half-mile track. Salzburg Annie, 2-1.
Yeah, Salzburg Annie, I think, is one you have to respect in here. I mean, she does good things in the condition claiming ranks, and she was a winner here 3 starts ago at around this level. Held on against Ultimate Twix on that occasion. Uh, Part owner Louis Philippe Waugh aboard. He's had a lot of success here on Wednesday nights. So, I mean, you've got to respect her chances. I think she goes forward off the gate. I mean, she does her best work getting forwardly placed. And, I mean, she's 7 for 16 in her career. She came out of the gates pretty strongly in Sarnia to begin her life as a racehorse, and has now hit the board in 11 of 16. So I did. I mean, you know me. I like to side with maturity. I mean, a 4-year-old, and I know it doesn't necessarily mean they're more mature, but 4-year-old versus a 3-year-old, I'm always going to likely gravitate in that direction. But it was kind of thin on my decision on who to put on top between those two. But right now, the betting public sees it the exact same way.
Number 1 Ultra, 7-2 on the board, is getting a fair amount of love now. Wasn't doing a whole lot for a few starts, but that was at Mohawk. Then went to Sarnia. You see those races at Sarnia. Your thoughts on Ultra?
I love the effort there. The thing was is that you missed a little bit of time anyways between starts, and right now under the care of her owner John Curran. And the thing is that that start, Gary, remember Better Than Pride? I mean, I love Better Than Pride here Friday night. Beat Better Than Pride. I mean, that's against male competition. White Cookie was third in there. I mean, on form references, you'd say, how do you kind of go against Ultra in this spot? But I just, the time between starts, I think, was the main deterrent for me. And even the pop-up races at Mohawk Park, that's way tougher competition. So it's interesting. You convinced me that she's the play at 7-2 on a win ticket. But I wasn't sure what to do with her with the time between starts.
The one that I think you have a hard time figuring out what to do with is 3 Candescent Hanover, because you have to compare Meadows to here and those classes. And your thoughts with Candescent Hanover?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? Is how do you map out that class versus this one here? And that's a condition claiming class. there as well. The claim price on those races is $15,000. So, I mean, take that for what you will. Was a winner in it last time. And now coming north of the border, off a bit of time between, and I think racing in what might be a more difficult spot, or probably is a more difficult spot, and that's why the 5-2 morning line becomes 9-1 on the board right now.
It's a field of a 6-4, race number 3. They're heading towards the start. Fillies and mares on the pace. Third dash on a Wednesday night at Grand River. And the field for race number 3 is at the start, and they're off, and Dangerous Curves drives out quickly with JS Bet This Lady and Salisbury Annie. Ultra fourth, then Candescent Hanover. All Smoke and Mirrors is trailing the field. JS Bet This Lady and Brett McDonald's got the lead right now, and Dangerous Curves, as they race on around that first curve, is into the pocket now in front of Salisbury Annie. Then Ultra is racing fourth, then Candescent Hanover, and All Smoke and Mirrors 26-1. It was a lively opening panel put up by JS Bet This Lady. Advantage is a couple of lengths. Dangerous Curves is racing second, and then Salisbury Annie is still on the inside third in front of Ultra. Candescent Hanover. All Smoke and Mirrors is trailing the field off a sharp 26-1 opening quarter. They head up to the half, and JS Bet This Lady is on top. Dangerous Curves is getting the trip, and now Salisbury Annie has angled out and is going to be coming first over, but is 3 off the lead and not rushing just yet. And then Ultra, and on down the backstretch, off a lively 55-4 halftime. JS Bet This Lady, Dangerous Curves, and Salisbury Annie drop back down to the inside, and now up and moving. Candescent Hanover, Ultra, and All Smoke and Mirrors. JS Bet This Lady, Dangerous Curves is keeping a close watch though, and they head by 3/4, 124-3, and it is still JS Bet This Lady and Dangerous Curves, and All Smoke and Mirrors. Candescent Hanover. Salisbury Annie has dropped back, and Ultra is trailing the field. JS Bet This Lady, Dangerous Curves, and Jason Ryan trying to measure Brett McDonald and JS Bet This Lady, who still came. JS Bet This Lady is digging in. JS Bet This Lady is at the finish in front by a length and 3/4. Dangerous Curves and All Smoke and Mirrors and Candescent Hanover. JS Bet This Lady. Rob, I was just waiting for Dangerous Curves to go on by. Well, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, we're all still waiting, Gary, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen there. I mean, again, for my pick 5 tickets, you know what? I probably should have JS Bet This Lady the ticket, because that last win was an impressive one, and kind of the blueprint for this victory, right? Go to the lead, set pretty hot fractions throughout, and just get the job done on the engine. And that was against male competition as well on that occasion at Hanover. And I guess for me, where I was kind of lost what to do with JS Bet This Lady was the last time racing in these condition claiming rinks here at the river. Didn't really have much to offer. Couldn't really, do all that much on that occasion. And today, the minute she got to the lead, even though it was 26-1, 55-4, I said, "Uh-oh, this might be a problem," because she swells up on the engine. She always has, and just absolutely crushes tonight in 54-1. And I think that took some support to 9-2, but I think this is going to be actually a much bigger knockout in the pick 4 and the pick 5.
The last 2 times she raced here, she had broken equipment. The only thing broken here tonight was the hearts of the rivals in against her.
Yeah, no, it's just it's one of those ones where, again, trip handicapping, if you see that coming, which I guess we could have, right? Because even though there is quite a bit of speed, towards the outside of the gate there, she's got the draw on them where she kind of controls her own destiny. And if you know that's coming, then it's easier to get behind her.
And Salisbury Annie really did not look good, popped out, and then that didn't work at all.
No, didn't have it tonight. Just didn't have it tonight, and she's been a lot more lively off the switch. But again, 26-1, 55-4, that might do it to you, right? She has not been kind of going those kind of fractions. She's been pretty quick, but not like that.
It's a 2-5, 4-3 top 4, and back in front of us is number 2, JS Bet This Lady, 4-year-old betting line bay mare, owned by Carol Gebhardt, trained by Roger Gebhardt, Brett McDonald, the winning driver. Fourth win for Jazz Bet This Lady this year. Eighth lifetime, 154 and 1. And out trackside the Friendship Force Group. The third race payouts to Jazz Bet This Lady, 11 to 44, 10, 525. Dangerous Curves to 93.80 and 4 All Smoke and Mirrors $7. $2 Exactor 25.40. Dollar Try 49.40. Dollar Super 215.75. third race or a finish from the top. 514326 scratch. That's 514326 scratch. Field for race number 4's on parade 1, Archangels Gliding. Trevor Henry for Robert Manders and Scott and Keith Manders. Number 2 is Tyrone Bowtie. Todd Ratchford for Maria Ratchford and Cynthia Graham and Mark Melou and Gillian Keating. Number 3, Star Hairdresser Austin Sorey for Rick Ziron and John Donato. And number 4, All-Star Goldie Daryl Thiessen for Steve Watson and All-Star Farms. Number 5, JG's Pals, Sammy Filia for Brian Lawrence and Stuart Lawrence. Number 6, Vera Cruz, Scott Young for Timothy Cherwaco and Gary Green. Number 7, Hilarious Archie, Jason Ryan for Andrea Ann Fontaine and Jeffrey O'Born. And number 8 is J. Richard Nice, Brett McDonough for Ron McDonald and Hartel Maintenance and Lorimer McClure. It is a field of 8 for race number 4. Non-winners of 3 trotters, a good field. And, well, let's start with number 6, Vera Cruz. And with JG's Pal at 1-5 on the board, Rob 8-1 on the board, now 7-1. Could you hold a price something like that?
I mean, I don't think it can stay like that come post time, but who knows, right? I mean, JG's Pal's been doing good things and was an impressive winner last time. The score down here is something I'd like to see because I'm hoping the plan is to get Vera Cruz forwardly placed or at least more forwardly placed than last time. Now, trailing post last time obviously didn't have an opportunity to do that. Got away 8th off the gates and had to just kind of take what he could get, which was 3rd in the late stages, and it was never catching JG's Pal. But again, the trip scenario was certainly better for JG's Pal, and I think that the score down tells us that we're going to likely see this one try to get forwardly placed anyway. So 7-1, I don't think that holds up, but I was happy with maybe 3 or 4-1 on Vera Cruz and JG's Pal being about half that in price. So I'm going to stick with Vera Cruz on top, Gary. This was one of my plays of the night, my spot play. We're just one start removed from 3 in a row for Vera Cruz and was a winner at this level, stepping up on September 11th. Like I said, last time out, no chance the way it all panned out. Nose back on gate tonight, and love his chances.
And certainly not one that has to leave because some of his big success has been from off the pace. Problem is last time out, just a little too far back, and they didn't really come back to him as JG's Pal and Mass Money just kept on trucking. But Vera Cruz holds right now at 7-1. Number 5, JG's Pal. No surprise that this one's the favorite, but 2-5 is slightly overdoing it.
I think so. The win was a good one last time. It's 3-1. I mean, if you're backing this one, I mean, you had him last time as well. I think 1-2, even money 6-5 would be a tough pill to swallow for me. But we expected more from him 2 back. He kind of just spun his wheels on the outside, and then he did what I thought he would do 2 starts ago last time. But of course, I had jumped off him on the win end of it in that effort. So I think JG's Pal is one that merits respect in here. I kind of had it down to those 2, and I wanted to side with the bigger price. And right now, I would say it's the right decision with Vera Cruz over JG's Pal, but we'll see what happens when they hit the finish line.
J. Richard Nice is one that it's hard to figure because can step up and race really, really well, but there's a couple of starts that just not impressive, but also has had some problems making breaks here.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing, which kind of just makes sense to me, is the price for wagering purposes. I mean, meaning at 23-1, I can bet throwaway money on J. Richard Nice. I don't think you should be that kind of a number. You're talking about a horse that August 14th went off at 35 cents to the dollar in this class, and made a recovery as such that would have likely been an easy winner if not for making that initial miscue. Next time out, really didn't have much to offer, then made a break again. Was a winner at Flamborough 2 starts ago and against, I think, a pretty solid group and non-winners of 3,500 last 3. I don't think he looks out of place against this group. The big thing that is obviously a deterrent is post 8. And if the trip somehow works out, I think he's in with a winning chance, and 25 to 1. I mean, you can bet a lot of worse horses at 25 to 1 than J. Richard Nice in this spot.
What do we do with Tyrone Bowtie? We see back in March 21st, was able to beat Anometers at 2 at Mohawk in 55 and 3. One that's made breaks and qualified at Flamborough. Which Tyrone Bowtie is showing up, and what's your thoughts?
Well, I've had success betting the Ratchfords off time, and I think this horse looks pretty good right now, and I think he fits in nicely with this group. He probably needs a start or two before we're going to see his best, but sometimes you got to jump ahead of it, right, to get the value. And 14 to 1 is another one that I think you could bet throwaway money on if you're willing to just kind of take a flyer on a horse in a race where the two favorites might be worth playing against.
I do like the price of 11 to 1 at All Star Goldie is one that's in with a chance in here. It is a field of 8, race number 4, and they're turning into the backstretch, gathering speed, approaching the start. Field for the 4th race. All in position. And All-Star Goldie is going to blast with Hilarious Archie. Archangel's Gliding, J. Richard Nice. Star Hairdresser, J.G.'s pal, Tyrone Bowtie. And Vera Cruz is trailing the field. Hilarious Archie at 25 to 1 was able to come on and clear to the front. All-Star Goldie at 8 to 1's racing second. Archangel's Gliding is third. And then racing fourth is J. Richard Nice in front of Star Hairdresser, then Tyrone Bowtie, and then back to the trailing pair, JG's Pal and Vera Cruz are the last two as they head their way up towards the half off a solid 27-second opening quarter put up by Hilarious Archie, who leads as they work their way on up towards the half. And racing in the pocket is All-Star Goldie. Archangel's Gliding's on the inside third. And now J. Richard Nice is starting to advance on the outside in front of Star Hairdresser. Tyrone Bowtie. JG's Pal is second from last, and Vera Cruz is trailing the field. And it is Hilarious Archie who leads as they race their way on towards three quarters. All-Star Goldie is getting a golden trip. J. Richard Nice is on the outside and is two off the lead. Archangel's Gliding is Star Hairdresser. Tyrone Bowtie, JG's Pal, and Vera Cruz has to pass them all to win. And now pulling three wide goes JG's Pal from the backfield, and following three wide is Vera Cruz. It is Hilarious Archie with the lead. Hilarious Archie. J. Richard Nice. All-Star Goldie looks alive on the inside. Star Hairdresser. JG's Pal is out wide. Archangel's Gliding and Vera Cruz on down the stretch. Rob they come. J. Richard Nice. Here it comes. JG's Pal now. JG's Pal is going to drive on by and win. Then it is J. Richard Nice with Star Hairdresser and Tyrone Bowtie. 156 and 1. JG's Pal, very relaxed early, but was flying late, Robert.
It's one of those ones where, I mean, in full disclosure, I mean, I said it. J. Richard Nice to me was the value. I actually played that one to win and looked like it might be promising for a bit there. And you could see he was in the first over grind. I knew he was going to get the measure of the pace setter, but can he somehow outstagger the late legs of JG's Pal? Just not going to happen. And that one was handled very confidently, right? I mean, taken back off the gate. I mean, legit fractions up front, and was able just to go past them late. I mean, I thought that he was overbet. I mean, I still think even money's kind of a short price. And with the way the race kind of panned out, I'd even say even more so. It just, he's just kind of too good for them right now. He just goes past them late. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to, back one like that at even money, but he was good. And I'll tell you, Tyrone Bowtie is one that we can certainly look at for next time. I kind of thought he was in with a chance with the right kind of a trip. The trip didn't work out, but he would look like he was loaded with trot late, and that's what you want to see when racing off the bench.
And Star Hairdresser beat a non-winners at 2 field last time out as the favorite, and Star Hairdresser moved up even tougher, and Ashley is right there finishing third, so that's one that's come on now.
Yeah, it was a huge reversal in form last time out for that one, and and now we always talk about getting acclimated to a tougher level. Well, I think Star Hairdresser should be a little more acclimated now. It's a good effort to be. I think it was third there, right? Jay Richard Nice second, his Hairdresser third, and I think we can watch that one going forward. But again, my biggest takeaway is going to be Tyrone Bowtie wherever he lands, as long as it's a palatable spot. I'll be playing him. But yeah, Star Hairdresser one to watch going forward.
And Veracruz got away last and then followed the move of JG's Pal, but didn't have the same amount of go as JG.
No, you follow the winner. I mean, I've no excuse for me if I like a horse, he follows the winner. Then that's my bad. Obviously, I wasn't on the right horse. Not the way I thought it was going to play out, but it didn't matter. He was never beating JG's Pal tonight.
And JG's Pal back in front of us, a 3-year-old Tactical Landing, brown gelding, owned by Brian Stewart Lawrence. Brian Lawrence, the trainer. Sammy Fillion, the winning driver, 6th win this year, 7th lifetime. JG's Pal, 156-1, a new career best. The 4th race, payouts 5. JG's Pal, 410, 260, 260. AJ Richard Nice, 10, 65, 80. And 3, Star Hairdresser, 420. $2 exactor, 71.30. Dollar Try, 162.50. Dollar Super, 1220, 205. Fourth race order finish from the top down is a 543-81572. That is 5-438-1572. Field on post parade for race number 5-1 is Had Me a Whiskey. Travis Henry for Wayne Henry and Henry Stable. Number 2 is Uncle Morris. Trevor Henry for Shannon Henry. Number 3 is Cadabra Kaboom. Travis Culliver, Jody Cullen, and Tammy Aspen and Marie Nielsen. And 4 is Chip Happen. Daryl Thiessen for James McCaig and Jan McCaig-Weischer. Five is PCT Peterbilt. Colin Kelly for Peter Clements. Number 6, Belvedere Franklin. Phil Houdon drives and trains for Dr. Mike Veneri. Number 7, Royal Beluga. Mark Etzel drives and trains for Harbor Racing. Number 8 is Timel Twister. Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Paul Lindsay. Nine is talk show host Jason Ryan for Mariel Enberg and Brenda Darrable. Field of 9, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, we have to start with number 7, Royal Beluga. Was the betting favorite last time out, but, well, things kind of blew up for Royal Beluga with that break in stride early in the mile. But we've also seen this guy be just dominant.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed them 2 starts ago, and it was one of those ones where the minute he made the lead, you knew the race was pretty much over. He looked smooth, and he won by margin under wraps at a nice price. That was non-winners of 1. Now in this middle class between non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2. Last time out, pole position. You know how much I hate that for trotters that are a little bit unsure on their feet, and sure enough, he made that break in stride and then wasn't able to get back into the race. I mean, made a good go of it to be 7th and only beaten by just over 5 lengths. But the key with him, if he trots, I mean, he can win, and I think he likely wins if he stays flat. But right now the betting public, I think, isn't so sure that's going to happen. And post 7, I think, is a much better spot for him because he can kind of just keep on moving forward and just kind of slowly moving down towards the inside. And I would think try to do what he did last time, just stay on the outside until he can kind of keep driving towards the lead. But again, I mean, he can break at any time, so he's a risky proposition.
And we're both of the same mind on Royal Beluga, but we're on different minds on who is second best. But maybe you might think Chip Happened is second best, but Cadabra Kaboom is going to offer you more at 8-1, and you are enamored with that last start here.
I am. Well, I've been enamored with all of his starts, Gary. I mean, the 2 back trailing post, I'm willing to forgive that. If you take that off the page, he's got 3 consecutive top 2 finishes, and he's got that in starts where he's had his nose on the gate, and his nose goes back on the gate tonight, moves in a couple spots on to post 3, and I thought it was an easy win last time. Obviously, a softer group, but he's shown me quite a bit. I mean, I think you could argue he kind of raced better than the winners in both of those runner-up finishes, in finishing second, and just because of the way the trip kind of played out. And I think he will long-term be the better one out of them. So 8-1 right now. It looks pretty good on the track, and I think you can use him everywhere in the high 5. I don't know if that price holds, but I think that's a pretty good win ticket. Like if I see the 7 maybe misbehaving behind the gate, that's who I'd probably pivot to, especially at that price.
Number 2, Uncle Morris is taking a lot of money now. Uncle Morris has had a little bit of time off due to sickness, but also is one that you saw trot to victory August the 1st, 55-2 at Mohawk.
Yeah, it was one of those ones there where he kind of just got past them late, um, and got shuffled back, and one of those ones that looked kind of unlikely throughout the trip until he was able to get past them at a long price. Now that was a non-winners of 1, and that was a maiden breaking score for him. Now we're a few starts removed and a couple scratches removed too. I didn't know what to do with him tonight. I think he can be competitive with this group, and you've got to respect whenever Trevor Henry brings one here to the river. Good draw. He's the favorite in all the multi-leg wagers. I think you need to give him a long look. I just don't know if I'd be too excited about 3-1.
Now, number 4, Chip Happened, is getting a lot of love at 2-1. 2-1 is probably too low, but you have to respect the efforts. Chip Happen's last 2 races, they were both very strong.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of depth to this field, so I think the efforts have been strong, and he's gotten along tremendously well with Daryl Thiessen. And 2 starts ago, got beat by Nectar Lincoln's Landing, who was dropping down in class last time out, was first over a long way before having to settle for third to George of the Jungle. So I think he fits with this group. I think he can certainly win it. He's capable. I think that the risk to the reward right now at 2-1 is not there because he's one of those horses that has just enough speed that sometimes he gets himself into trouble, meaning he ends up first over or gets a tougher trip than maybe his opponents. And to me tonight, the price is too short for me. I do like him somewhere in the ticket though.
And PC Peterbilt is interesting because 4 starts this year, 2 that ended with wins, one even from post-8 at Georgian Downs, and the other 2 that ended badly with breaks.
Yeah, took support last time. The same race Chip Happen comes out of, got doubled up on the inside before making that miscue. He's got a chance to rebound here. Again, 5-1 off a break where top priority is probably a flat line. That's tough for me to swallow, but again, he's one of the ones that's definitely in the mix.
I still think Timel Twister is going to find a way to get onto the ticket here because Timel Twister has been racing consistently well in its post-8, so you'll get some value at 18-1. It's a field of 9 for race number 5. Field for the 5th race into the backstretch. Now Uncle Morris and Cadabra Kaboom move up a little closer to the gates. And there at the start in the rough, Belvedere Franklin will get out well. Belvedere Franklin, Chip Happened, and Uncle Morrison had me a whiskey. Royal Beluga is still working on the outside, and Royal Beluga is currently trotting forth. Had me a whiskey. Then Talk Show host and Cadabra Kaboom and PC Peterbilt and Tumble Twister relaxed to it. It trailed the field and moving Royal Beluga right now from 4th, and now is moving up on the outside, pointed towards the front as they race off the turn. Uncle Morris has the lead. Uncle Morris and Chip Happened and Royal Beluga advancing 28 seconds, the opening quarter. And it is Royal Beluga. Trevor Henry looks over his right shoulder and says, oh yeah, I see Royal Beluga coming. It's Royal Beluga and Uncle Morris, and then it is Chip Happened, and racing forth is Belvedere Franklin. Uncle Morris for now is parking out Royal Beluga. Chip Happened is right there on the inside 3rd. Belvedere Franklin 4th, and Had Me a Whiskey 5th. 57-3 is the halftime. Cadabra Kaboom is 6th, and then Talk Show host and PC Peterbilt and Tumble Twister. But Royal Beluga is chipping away at Uncle Morris and Royal Beluga. They stride on to 3/4, and then it is Chip Happened on the inside, sharing 3rd with Belvedere Franklin. Royal Beluga sticks ahead in front and did it without any urging for Mark Etzel, as right now Royal Beluga on the outside is taking a lead of about half a length. 3/4, 126-2. PC Peterbilt trucked off stride. Royal Beluga, Uncle Morris, Chip Happened now has moved out, and then Cadabra Kaboom is kicking in late, and Belvedere Franklin, talk show host on down the stretch, where they come. Royal Beluga, as they come on to the finish, is going to win this one. Uncle Morris will stay for second. Third is Chip Happened, and then finishing 4th was Cadabra Kaboom. Mile of 157 flat. Royal Beluga got away smoothly, and Mark Etzel moved up on the outside and wasn't concerned with being on the outside because I guess he knew he had more horse than he needed.
Well, we said it, Gary. If he trots, he wins. It's what it comes down to. And I mean, at the end of the day, I guess the price was worth it. I mean, at 4-1, I thought he'd be bet more than that. I thought he'd go off as the favorite. I even said it when I was breaking down the pick 5 sequence, that Royal Beluga the likely favorite in there. But the big question is, will he stay flat? Well, right off the gate, you felt pretty good because he was trotting a lot smoother this time, and again, just needed to get off the rail to probably give him that opportunity, and he just kind of kept marching. And Trevor Henry wasn't going to let him go, but I don't really think, like you said, Mark really cared all that much just sitting out there, because he knows that if his horse trots, he's likely going to forge to the lead and get away from them in the late stages, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, we figured he's kind of much the best in there, but it all matters what he does, between the years, and tonight he was on his game.
His breaks have come early, and if you watch Royal Beluga leave, Mark likes to give himself lots of room so that there's nobody around him.
Yeah, he does. No, he's one of those ones where you're right. I mean, pretty much all of his breaks happen at the start or just after it, and like I said, when he gets away cleanly, you feel pretty good about it. He was third choice in the multi-leg wagers. I mean, this is a pretty good pick five return, all things considered. $228 for 20 cents. Again, I went four deep in a race where where there were six horses and missed, and then of course I singled Veracruz, so I wasn't close. But hopefully someone out there got this ticket because it's a pretty good payout.
But the ones underneath, Uncle Morris raced very well. Chip Happened and Cadabra Kaboom, those are the three you used. In fact, Cadabra Kaboom at 12 to 1. Your second choice does make the ticket, so at least the top four. And Belvedere Franklin, you got to get a price horse getting in there.
Yeah, some prices in there. I mean, really, the only one logical one, I guess, missed. The other ones were all kind of longer numbers on the board. Cadabra Kaboom is one I'll watch and kind of tab and come back to at some point. I thought he raced pretty well to be fourth. And Uncle Morris, I mean, I think was well meant tonight. Just ran into Royal Beluga, who's just too much pony when he decides to mind his manners.
Back in front of us, 72436. And 7 Royal Beluga. A 3-year-old Tactical Landing, Bay Gelding, by Harbor Racing and Mark Hetzel. Mark Hetzel is the trainer and the winning driver. It's the second win for Royal Beluga this year in lifetime. 157 flat. The fifth race payout, 7 Royal Beluga, $10, 550 and 370. 2 Uncle Morris, 450, 360. 4 Chip Happen, 260. $2 exactor, 43.40. Dollars Rye, 45.80. Dollar pick 3, 95.60. Dollar win for 151.70. Dollar pick 5, 1141.70. Dollar high 5, 1374.95. Fans note in this sixth race, a claim entered 3, DM Snake Plissken. Race 6, claim entered 3, DM Snake Plissken. Fifth race order finish from the top is an 824395176. That's 824395176 in the bottom.
Royal Beluga getting home in race number 5 to close out those early multi-leg wagers. And no late pick 5 tonight, since we just have 9 dash, but we do have a late pick 4 starting right here in race 6. And I'm playing it thin. Gary has inspired me to play it thin, and he's been kind of playing his dollar tickets or ones from more denomination than that, and advised me to play a straight ticket recently that hit. So there's my late pick 4. We're going to go 3 singles and then use 3 in race number 7. Just the 3 DM Snake Plissken here. Fantastic winner here, 2 back. Was an even better winner at Mohawk Park last time. He's now going to be claimed tonight, and I think he crushes in here, facing a compact field of 6. Singled up on him 1, 2, and 3 in race number 7. Pillow Thief is one that I've been kind of chasing. Wheelman Stealing, I thought, made a nice debut, and Halmac Swanky, I think, is worth using as well. Just the 2 in race 8, It Don't Matter to Me. Again, I think she trots, she wins. And race 9, the 3, Intense Lady, big win last time, first over a long way before, claiming victory as the favorite. So 60 cents for a 20-cent ticket or $3 for a dollar ticket. We'll see what Conley's got in store real quick. Just a minute till they're coming on the track. We'll see what Conley's got in store for us in this sequence. So he's playing it kind of thin as well, but he's going to go 2 by 2 by 2 to start it off. 1, 3 here. So he's got Happy Nays on his ticket as well. The 3 and 5, Pillow Thief and Gaelic Piper. Mactacular and It Don't Matter to Me. And then he's going to go in race number 9, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So 4 deep in that finale, $3.20 for a 20-cent ticket in this late pick 4 sequence starting right here in race 6. Again, the takeout's always a low 15%. And Gary and I will come back after the post for take a closer look at race number 6.
Field for race number 6. On parade 1, Happy Nays. Phil Houdon drives for Derek Anderson and Russ Gorley. Number 2 is Valentino of Lita. Jason Ryan for Ben Hollingsworth and Mike Goldberg. Number 3 is DM Snake Plissken. Brett McDonough for Don Lindsay and Derek Watson. And number 4, Let Jim Take Over. Daryl Thiessen for Lindsey Curran, Sally Charlton, and Mark Adams and Rebecca Masters. And number 5 is Cold Beer Calling. Travis Henry for Daryl Lever and Rick Ryer and Leanne Davidson. And number 6, Better Style. Sammy Filia for Jason Mitchell. Field of 6, race number 6. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, I often mention that I always like to guess before I do my picks who you're going to have, who your top pick will be. I didn't have to guess in this one. I knew you'd be all over DM Snake Plissken. Now look at the price 1 to 2, and the claim is in. But also, just to say that you're not just chasing the chalk. You took this one at Mohawk at 8 to 1 in the Horse Players Journal and got one that was 10th by 17 lengths at the quarter to come blowing on by to win.
Yeah, and we had a 3 to 1 too. Both of us 3 to 1 on September 11th as well. And this horse has raced really well, obviously over the last couple of seasons. Last season 7 for 8 in the money, and then this year 3 for 4 in the top 3. Really good effort. August 28th off the bench. Just didn't have much of a chance after that, and then was handled with aggression here 2 starts ago and absolutely crushed. And then that start at Mohawk Park was, I watched the replay a few times. Boy, it was a breathtaking late charge, 26-4 to get past them late. And at a big price. I did not think he'd be 8 to 1 that night. I thought that win at Grand River would have merited him a lot more respect. Didn't get it on the odds board, but he's getting it tonight and deserves it. Claimed, and he's won 2 in a row. Should be bring with confidence. I think he completes the hat trick tonight, and again will do so at a short price.
Well, when you bet a ticket on a horse, you don't need respect; you need money.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I'd rather horses I pick not get respect on the tote board. I'm just saying, I thought that he should have been a much shorter price than that. I mean, but again, I'm typically going to be, in the camp of horses coming from Grand River where others might not, be doing that.
Cold Beer Calling was second, 56-4 mile last time out at Flamborough. That track has not been yielding quick times, and this is one that gave a 57-1 back half. So Cold Beer Calling is one that's not without a solid chance in here.
Yeah, I think that you've got to respect the record for him too. He's got 12 on the board finishes at 24 tries this season, and he's got tactical speed. I'm not sure if we see it. It's a 6-horse field, and I mean he's kind of on the outside looking in that regard, and there's quite a bit of speed on the inside of him. The effort was good last time though in the Prospect Series, and last time at Mohawk Park in a condition claimer, he kind of got a little bit unlucky. Got shuffled back before coming back on for 6th. So I think he can read out the exacta here, and I knew DM Snake Plissken was going to be a short price, and others I was looking at were probably going to be, second and third choice in the betting. So I figured I better try to put a price in there. And right now he's giving us that at 8 to 1.
And we should give Travis Henry some props. He has put together a very strong year.
No, he definitely has. He always puts together strong campaigns and does, good things here at the River. And I'll get to see him at the Raceway in London as well. So always can bet Travis with confidence, and he's doing a great job as always.
Number 1, Happy Nays, is one that you've been happy with a few times that when you've backed, but this is one that kind of fell off form and then was scratched at Mohawk Vet Lane, but you came back and used this one on the top 3 here.
Yeah, I think you have to, because that win here on August 21st was a good one. He did so as the favorite. To me, I was super impressed with the fact that he was like third over and just floated past them like they were standing still, and he won going away. And then since then, he really, hasn't been able to come back to that. But he's had some unlucky trips. I mean, especially, lines at Mohawk Park, the ones you see at the bottom of the page, even towards the top, they've all kind of been on the unlucky side or overland, a little bit tougher than maybe he's been able to handle. And now he gets the pole position back at the River against more palatable company, and I think he should be able to to make some noise against this group. The problem for him is he hooks one like DM Snake Plissken, who I just think is going to be too good for these right now. I mean, off his last two efforts and really what he's been doing before that, even he was showing it, and now he's proving it on the track. So Happy Days, one I'll use underneath.
And earlier this evening, a couple races ago, you ignored one that showed some good miles at Hanover and lived to regret it. Is that going to be the case here with Valentino of Lida?
I mean, it might be. I mean, we saw this one here a few times and would kind of get away well and then fade. That win at Hanover was a good one. I mean, just dominated from post four and then trailing post. Couldn't really use his best asset last time, but I thought still raced pretty good to be third, just beating half a length. So maybe we see this one charge out of there, and could be tough to catch if that's the case. But I think DM Snake Plissken will escape with another victory.
I threw Let Jim Take Over onto the bottom of my ticket. I get a healthy 21-1 with a horse sent up by Lindsay Kerr, Daryl Thiessen driving. I like that spot. It's a field of six for race number 6 there, nearing the start. And the field for the 6th race. Is at the start in the rough, and Valentino of Lida, Cold Beer calling, Better Style, Let Jim Take Over, Happy Nays, and DM Snake Plissken, Brett McDonald in no hurry in the early going, is racing second from last, and Happy Nays is trailing the field. Valentino of Lida has the lead as they work their way around the turn. Cold Beer calling is drafting along in the pocket, and Better Style is better than 3 other rivals now, is third. Let Jim Take Over. Then it is back to DM Snake Plissken, and Happy Nays is trailing the field, and they work their way on up towards us. Valentino of Lida off a 28-second opening quarter. Cold Beer calling is racing position second. There goes DM Snake Plissken now moving quickly up on the outside. Then Better Style as they work their way on up to the half. Then Let Jim Take Over, and back to the trailer. Happy Nays and Valentino of Lida. Cold Beer calling. DM Snake Plissken on the outside now is moving up a little closer, about 2 1/4 off the lead. Halftime 57-1, put up by Valentino of Lida on the board at 5-1. DM Snake Plissken closing ground, trying to measure Valentino of Lida, and then it is Cold Beer calling, and then Let Jim Take Over, Better Style, and Happy Nays, and DM Snake Plissken keeps chipping away, but Valentino of Lida has not thrown in the towel. 3/4, 125. Valentino of Lida. DM Snake Plissken now gets some urging. DM Snake Plissken has come on to within about a neck of the lead and now ahead of the front. Valentino of Lida, DM Snake Plissken on down the stretch where they come. Valentino of Lida, DM Snake Plissken still has a bit of work to do. DM Snake Plissken, Valentino of Lida, DM Snake Plissken gets there. Valentino of Lida. Then Cold Beer calling, Let Jim Take Over. 153-3, a little harder than you'd like it to be when it's 1-5 on the board, Rob.
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of feel it coming, though, right? I mean, the thing was is that you actually called it. You said, are we maybe underestimating one that's been racing well at Hanover? That I mean, we know tactical speed's good here, right? We know that front end speed holds up. I mean, this track, it's not like it used to be, but it's still the place to be. And Valentino of Lida comes into this in good form and produces a rock solid effort.
Snake Plissken has come on to within
I thought DM Snake Plissken was going to get the measure of that one. Did it get a little closer than I thought it was? Of course it did, but again, this horse has got a nose for the wire right now and is just racing with a lot of confidence, and he gets up when it matters most.
Yeah, it only matters in the last few feet. It's not what you do before that. But you could also tell that you had reason to be a little concerned because Brett McDonald got tapping before they got to the top of the stretch, and that told you that he wasn't confident that he could just blow on by.
Oh, my mic went out there. So came back on short rest too, right? So that may have been a little bit part of why he was a little bit more tired late in the mile, but still got up in 53 and 3, which to me is a monstrous effort. Be interesting to see, who claimed him and where he ends up.
I thought you decided to answer the door and get pizza instead of talk to us some more.
I don't know what happened. My mic just got muted. I didn't do it. It just got muted. I'm not sure how that happened.
Maybe Megan muted you. Back in front of us is number 3, DM Snake Plissken. Bryant McDonald, the winning driver. 5-year-old Better Than Cheddar Bay Gelding, by Derek Watson, trained by Don Lindsay. It's the third win this year. Third in a row for DM Snake Plissken, fifth lifetime. 153 and 3. The sixth race payouts 3 DM Snake Plissken. 240, 210, 210, 2 Valentino of Lita, 310, 240, 5 Cold Bear Calling, 240, $2 exactor, 530, dollar try, 630, dollar super, 1975. Sixth race order finish from the top down is a 621,435. That's 621,435. Field for the seventh on parade. One, wheeling and stealing. George Ketros drives for Mary Ketros. Number two, Halmack Swanky, Colin Kelly for Vic Putty and Halmack Farms and Brian Foley. Number three is Pillow Thief, J.B. Renault for Julie Walker and Elizabeth Sheeland. Number four is Southwind Franz, Austin Sorry for Dominic Gladue and Francois Dupuis and Ron Kelly. Five is Gaelic Piper, Jason Ryan for John Yake and Jordan McGrail and Deborah McGrail and Bethany Craig. Number six, Royal Moon, Travis Henry for Sean Stacy. Number seven is Alvin Money, Pat Hudine for Brian Wick and Donna Wick. 8 is over end. It's Brett McDonough for Ron McDonald and Nicholas Malcolm. Field of 8, race number 7. Let's get a look at this field. And Robert, we've got a couple horses in here that have a case of seconditis, but we both went to one of them who's got 5 runner-up finishes without a win to get the job done here. Pillow Thief, we're hoping can get it to 8-5 on the board. Those the price.
Yeah, 8-5 on the board right now, which I think is about. I thought Pillow Thief would be the favorite in here, and right now we see the favoritism go towards the rail. But Pillow Thief last time, first over, and ended up being the best of the rest to Heaven's Count, who was a rock-solid winner at a short price, and held off the likes of Penteller Hanover, who is going to be one of my plays of the night tomorrow night in the Horse Players Journal at Mohawk Park. And Pillow Thief has been knocking at the door, right? This season has hit the board in 3 of the 4 tries, and last year, 4 of 12 in the top 3, has not broken through with a victory yet, but has been racing, I would say, too well to not have that win on his card. So this looks like a spot where he can get it. I mean, he doesn't have to face the likes of Heaven's Count in here, or Royal Beluga, maybe even Devil's Kiss, and I think that he's the one that you have to go to on top. But for me, it was kind of marginally. I like the top 2 choices in here the best.
And those, the 28-4 and the 28-3 final quarter, they kind of jump out when you look down the page at final quarters, and that's one of the things that I like to do. Although Royal Moon 28-3, but that was Mohawk, which is a quicker surface, although not as much quicker than Grand River as some people might think. But Pillow Thief, we both went on top, and his second choice in here is one that we both were able to, pardon me, you agreed on, and I did not. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You have, you do have, yeah. What's your second choice?
The one, wheeling and stealing here. That's, is the second time starter.
I wrote your race 6 picks 3, 5, 1, 2, and you know what? That actually to me makes more sense. But go ahead with wheeling and stealing.
Well, no, Wheeling and Stealing, I thought, made a very professional debut on September the 18th. Cadaver Kaboom was the winner in there. We saw that one hold his own up a class. Gaelic Piper did beat him on that occasion, but I think it was one of those ones where he got away to the early lead. He ends up releasing that one, then getting relegated to third. He came up the inside of Gaelic Piper and was getting to him, with authority, I thought, in the closing strides up the passing lane. Not something you see a horse do in their lifetime debut, or really any young trotter do with any kind of conviction. He did it. He did miss out on the play spot, but I thought he raced very well to finish third, and now he's got to start under his belt. Pole position. I don't always like that for a young trotter, but he was the winner in the qualifier from that same spot on September the 11th. So for me, I kind of, it was tough to separate those two. I gave the edge to Pillow Thief, but those are the two that I like the most of him.
Halmack Swanky is one that also has a case of seconditis, along with Gaelic Piper. And Halmack Swanky, you used this one for third off of, a second here 2 races ago, and a fourth last time out.
Yeah, second to Royal Beluga, kind of emerged out of a pack of horses to be second to that winner who won by a wide margin. And then last time out was fourth. It took a lot of support on 2-1 So I thought this would be an opportunity to take back value for those that backed him last time. Well, you're getting a big opportunity to do that right now at 10-1. That's to me a big overlay on the two Halmax Swanky. It just comes down to Trip for me. I think if he's a little bit closer to the action this time around, he can be there at the wire. And maybe he's the one that can split those two favorites, right? We've seen Pillow Thief make a miscue two back and sometimes be just too far out of it. We'll see what his trip looks like tonight. But he's the one I'd zero in on to maybe split the favorites.
One thing about Gaelic Piper, that's one that stays flat every start and comes in off of back-to-back runner-up finishes. We'll see if my miscue thinking that your sixth race picks were the correct ones here. 7-1.
Yeah, for me, it's just the post, right? He's been getting forwardly placed some inside draws. Now he shifts out to post 5, which isn't a bad spot here, but I think he's got some horses to the inside of him. They're going to want to get position on him off the gate. So to me, I think a minor award's likely where he lands tonight, but he's had an affinity for finishing second. Maybe he lands there again.
It is a field of 8 for the 7th dash. They're moving on around the turn and heading towards the start. Field of 8 for the 7th race. Is at the start of the route. And Southwind Franz, Gaelic Piper, and Wheelin' and Steelin', then Pillow Thief and Hamax Swanky. Southwind Franz, Gaelic Piper continues to pipe on the outside. Gaelic Piper is going to drive up and take the lead. Southwind Franz is second. Wheelin' and Steelin' third. Pillow Thief is fourth, and Hamax Swanky. Then Royal Moon and Alvin Money and Overend, and Gaelic Piper at 8-1. Forwardly placed. 28-4 opening panel. Southwind Franz, Wheelin' and Steelin' is third as they race their way on up towards us. And then Pillow Thief is now going to angle to the outside, giving cover to Hamax Swanky and Royal Moon. Then Alvin Money up the inside at Overend is trailing the field. And it is Gaelic Piper who's got the lead as they race their way on down the backstretch. Gaelic Piper, Wheelin' and Steelin', and on the inside, Southwind Franz. Gaelic Piper, half of 59-3, picked up a 30-4 second panel breather. Gaelic Piper, Wheelin' and Steelin', Southwind Franz, and Pillow Thief is getting up a little bit closer as well, situated second over. Then Hamax Swanky is fifth, and then it is Royal Moon and Alvin Money at Overend, but it's Gaelic Piper at 8-1 who still has the lead. Wheelin' and Steelin' is second. Southwind Franz is third. And Pillow Thief is still situated second over, waiting to pounce. And Hamax Swanky is fifth. And then Royal Moon and Overend. Alvin Money is going to finish out of the money is off stride. And it is Gaelic Piper, Wheelin' and Steelin' as they're about to turn for home. Pillow Thief has some work to do to steal this one from the top. Two Gaelic Piper and Wheelin' and Steelin' on down the stretch where they come. And it is Pillow Thief now charging. Pillow Thief as they come to the finish. Pillow Thief is going to win. Wheelin' and Steelin', Southwind Franz, and Gaelic Piper. 2 minutes flat. Pillow Thief was able to steal it late, Rob.
Trip tonight, and that was a possibility, right? He's got post 3, doesn't have huge foot off the gate, but you figure he's just going to settle in and look for a helmet to follow, and he kind of waited for the one to move to the outside, and he gets that second over toe, and Will and Steelin', another good effort, second career start, and 4 just passed Gaelic Piper late, but just had no answers for the late legs of Pillow Thief. Just too good tonight, and a horse that's kind of been sitting on that kind of an effort, right? I mean, we've seen him race very well in defeats, and now he notches the first victory of his career. After many, second and third place finishes.
And you could tell that J.B. Renault was willing to sit second over longer and longer than you might have thought. I guess he knew that he still had tons in reserve because he didn't pop as early as you might have wanted.
Yeah, he scores going away. I mean, I think he figured he didn't really have to move any sooner, and a horse that he's made miscues in the past probably just want to be patient with him and try to wait as long as he can to the straightaway. And when he was showing clear racetrack, he was gone. I mean, it was no urging required to the wire here. And like I said, Wheelin' and Steelin', I thought, raced really well in his lifetime debut, and he raced well again today. I mean, around at the exacta here, it's just paying I think $9, but not all that bad considering. I really thought that those were the main two in the race.
We had an argument on who was second best and who to use on the exactor ticket, and for 15/16ths of the mile, I was right, but 1/16th of the mile was the one that you needed.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, again, I really thought that the one could come forward off that effort. I mean, I think maybe if he could ever have got away with the lead or get away second, maybe it's a different story. But either way, I think he finished in the best spot he's going to finish in tonight, which is second to Pillow Thief.
One thing at least, my top four were 3, 5, 1, 4, so I get the four Southwind Franz at 30 to 1 onto the ticket.
Yeah, not a bad little super. You increase your value, right, in the try and super, getting that 30 to 1 shot in there.
Well, and not only that, comes into this one, 5 consecutive top four finishes. I didn't think it was that big a reach, and there he is. But Pillow Thief is back in front of us, stealing the seventh race and getting a first career win. JB Renault with the drive for Julie Walker, who shares an ownership with Elizabeth Sheeland, a 4-year-old muscle mass bay gelding. First win, 2 minutes flat. The seventh race payouts 3, Pillow Thief 270, 220, 220, 1, Wheelin' and Stealin' 360 and 380, and 4 Southwind Franz 590, $2 exactor 910, dollar try 26.75, dollar super 68.90. Seventh race order finish from the top 251 34786. That's 251 34786 on the bottom. Field on post parade for the 8th. One is Mactacular, Semi Filya for Julie Walker and Glengate Farms. Number 2, It Don't Matter to Me, Tyler Jones for Dustin Jones and Golden Bear Racing. 3 is Fantastic MVP, Daryl Thiessen for Jack Moisev and High Stakes Incorporated, and the Mo and Joe Stable and Sunset Racing and Nancy McNevin. 4 is Hit the Bank, Travis Henry for Gerard Demers and J.R. Merwan, Jim Tropey. Number 5 is LMC Mr. Squishy, Pat Houdon, drives drains for Lordina Cirillo. And number 6, Fastnet Rock, Jason Ryan for Matt Dupuy and Lance Wells and Lyndon Wells. Field of 6, scratched is the 7. Let's look at this field. And, well, the tote board says it don't matter how long you look at it, you're going to come to the 2 horse.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it's tough to go against her, right? Now, the one thing to keep in mind is she is in on Friday nights in the Grassroots Constellation at Mohawk Park. And, she's had such tremendous success over this surface, though, Gary. I mean, she's done it so easy. One that, has not always been so sure on her feet, but she's been able to keep it together here at the river, except for that one time. Again, I thought she made that break in stride, but she reset so quickly, quicker than I've ever seen a horse reset in my life, and was able to emerge victorious. Now, we know she's going to get, heavy support in here, go off as the big favorite, but I mean, she might still be prone to making those miscues. But the thing is that her last efforts here just hasn't really been asked to do much until it mattered most. And when she does, she just proves to be too much for her competition. And I think that's probably the most likely outcome again tonight. But she is in to go in just a couple of nights, racing for significantly more money in the Constellation for the Grassroots. So that's something you have to, consider.
It's something you got to decide whether it matters to you or not. And I think you're saying that it probably at least is something that might matter. How about number 4, Hit the Bank? Beaten just a length, it don't matter to me. And in fact, 3 consecutive strong races here, and certainly one that has upset potential at 8-1.
Yeah, the win was a good one from post 8, went all the way on the engine, and non-winners of 1. And then we always kind of watch to see what they do when they step up from non-winners of 1 to non-winners of 2. And it's a big transition, but a good first try, finishing 3rd after getting away 7th off the gate. Then last time, a 2nd to It Don't Matter to Me, which is a good form reference. And again, I'd always watch, that filly. She's 2-5 right now in the early going, and see how smooth she looks going to the gate. Because she has broke behind the gate in the past, and maybe the horse to pivot to, if you see that, would be one like Hit the Bank, because he's been in good order, or she's been in good order lately, and I think that 8-1's a pretty fair price on a horse that is likely just seeing a real inflated odds right now because of the fact that 2 is such a heavy favorite.
And then number 1, Mactacular. One that I think you were a little bit enamored with last time out, at least for a piece, and got 4th.
I was pretty excited about this one, maybe as a value play, and she got hammered on the board. I mean, she got absolutely crushed on the odds board, down to 6-5, and it was at a pace disadvantage. But I didn't think looked like she had a whole lot of trot at any point in the mile. But now you get a chance to take back value, and the reason why is because you hook one like It Don't Matter to Me, who's 2-5 right now. But if you backed her at 6-5, then you got to take a long look at 3-1. And, obviously I thought there was something there last time dropping down in class. So I was getting a follow-up try at this level. She's in with a chance, but I wasn't as kind of enamored with her after her latest as I was before it.
And one thing you could also argue is she might be getting a little more fit. She had missed a bunch of time, had been off from the end of April until September the 11th there. So this is the 3rd start back. Of course, the other thing that probably gets your attention, Sammy Fillion, Julie Walker, they're both having really fine years. Number three, Fantastic MVP, is one that's been improving the last couple after getting away from that start at Mohawk that didn't work out. So if you look at the last four here, they were all credible.
Yeah, I think that Fantastic MVP, is one that's kind of always in the mix. He's got tactical speed when he wants to use it. Light on the win column, just 3 wins in his career. 1 for 22 this season, but 7 on the board finishes. So again, one that I think can just kind of slide to the pylons and sit a trip and see what he can get or see what he can hold on to. Anyways, 23-1. When you're looking at favorites like we've done so far on this dash, you've got to find some kind of value underneath. And to me, I think it might be Fantastic MVP.
And is your buddy Pat Hudon going to blast out with LMC Mr. Squishy because he got off the gate from post 8 here pretty quickly?
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, this is not the worst spot in the world for LLC, Mr. Squishy. This source I've always been fond of, just hasn't really had it as of late, but he can kind of do it both ways. He can come from off the pace or go to the front. It'll be interesting to see how this race shakes out off the gate. And again, I'd keep an eye on the 2 here at 3-5.
It is a field of 6, race number 8. Spectacular, it don't matter to me. In the center, Fantastic MVP hit the bank to the outside. LMC Mr. Squishy and Fastnet Rock. And now Spectacular is being moved up a little closer to the gates. Field is at the start of the rough, and Mactacular, Sammy Filia tried to time the gate, but Mactacular got there just maybe a second early and went off stride. Fantastic MVP hit the bang. It don't matter to me, gets out third. Fastnet Rock is fourth. LMC Mr. Squishy. Mactacular is back trailing the field. Fantastic MVP has the lead at 12-1 as the field works on around the turn. Hit the bank is racing second. It don't matter to me is third, and the field works their way off a quarter of 29-1 and heads on towards us. And Mactacular is having a rough go of things, is off stride again. It don't matter to me right now is racing third, about 5 from the front, and now is going to pop out and has popped out in front of LMC Mr. Squishy, and then on the inside it is Fastnet Rock. And the field works their way on into the backstretch and heading to the half. Fantastic MVP hit the bang. It don't matter to me on the outside, getting a little closer. 59-3 halftime. Fastnet Rock is racing fourth, and LMC Mr. Squishy's on the back of it. Don't matter to me, and is only about 4 off the lead. And then it is back to Mactacular. Off a half of 59-3. Fantastic MVP, still the one to beat, but it don't matter to me. Just keeps getting closer and is looming on the outside. Hit the bang. LMC Mr. Squishy is second over fourth. Then Fastnet Rock Mactacular. Fantastic MVP leads. That lead is holding at a length and a quarter right now. It don't matter to me, though. Is still working on the outside and is not getting any urging from Tyler Jones just yet. 129.75. Then hit the bank. LMC Mr. Squishy, Mactacular, and Fastnet Rock on down the stretch route they come. Fantastic MVP. It don't matter to me. Fantastic MVP is trying to pull the upset. Fantastic MVP. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Gets on by. Fantastic MVP hit the bank and Fastnet Rock. And, well, Rob, that's the second race tonight where we've had a very chalky horse have to wait until the final 10 or 15 feet to get on by.
Yeah, but that one was completely measured. I mean, it really was. That's called, again, she's got to stay flat, but she's done such a great job doing that here because she gets asked to do nothing more than what she has to do to win, and she does not use up much energy throughout the mile, and that's called like saving as much as you can for Friday night, but still winning at a short price here. I mean, you can see Tyler Jones's body language, the complete opposite, of Gerald Thiessen, and right here, just a little bit of urging, but just literally had to get off the wheel of the leader, and you can see tap tap, and she goes past. And I'll be honest with you, it's funny. Like the whole time I'm thinking, if she doesn't run, there's no doubt she's getting there. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. And she wins again, and she just proves to be too much for them. And I've got her picked on top Friday night in that race at Mohawk Park. So we'll see how she comes back a 1 day rest. But like I said, these efforts here for her have been easy, like scary how easy they've been.
Now, one thing, we didn't use Fantastic MVP on the exactor ticket, but had the key. Got off the gate really quickly and then only let the 3 to 5 favorite by.
Yeah, that's what I've always liked about that horse. I mean, he doesn't win, with frequency, but he picks up a lot of pieces, and he does so because he's got early foot, right? He can leave out of there, and if he can steal some fractions, which he did, he got a nice, middle half in a minute, or almost a minute, 59 and 4. He can certainly stick around for a big chunk of it, and this time around he just misses, but. Again, it's a little bit unfair that he's got to deal with that kind of horsepower late in the mile there. But he rounds at the exact at 12 to 1 and hit the bank. Finishes third at 5 to 1. Mactacular. I wasn't too fond of the price last time. Even this time, 7 to 2. Wasn't too crazy about it. But back to the drawing board for that one.
And back in front of us is number 2. It don't matter to me. 3 to 5 favorite winning. 2, 3, 4, 6 is the top 4. It don't matter to me. A 3-year-old royalty for life bay filly up at Dustin Jones in Golden Bear Racing. Dustin Jones, the trainer. Tyler Jones, the winning driver. 7th win in 14 career starts. It don't matter to me. 158-3. 8th race payouts to it don't matter to me. 340, 270, 220. 3 fantastic MVP. $7, 374 hit the bank, 310. $2 exact, 18.20. Dollar try, 24.55. Dollar super, 87.40. Eighth race order finish from the top. 612-354 scratch. That's 612-354 scratch. Field for the ninth is on parade. One staying fresh. Jason Ryan for Richard Griffiths. Number 2, Benham, Shady, Cullen Kelly for Vic Putty and Hutt Racing. 3 is Intense Lady, Phil Hudon for Rennie Dion and Guest John Goyette Incorporated. Number 4, Porch Pirate, Travis Henry for Troy Cochran and Michelle Sherman and Larry DeLellis. Number 5, Soda Queen, Paul McKenzie for Gary McDonald. And number 6, Leaving with a Smile, Daryl Thiessen for Cameron McQueen. Number 7, Kanagami Heart, Sammy Filia for Rafael Barassa, J.F. Reed, and Stefan Brousseau. 8 is Worth Repeating, Austin Story for Duncan Gillis. And 9 is Whistle Shooter, Brett McDonough for Pam Forkey and Triple S Heck Y. It's a field of 9. It's race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, we're going to start with number 3, Intense Lady. But you know what? I have just a feeling. It's been a very chalky night tonight. I got a feeling that the favorite is not going to win in here. But yet we both have Intense Lady on top. Just got a hunch.
Yeah, I think this race is a lot more wide open than than it looks. And I mean, I did single Intense Lady in the pick 4. I think we're still alive. Yeah, we're alive, and that ticket is $3. I think we get back $10 if she wins. But I thought she raced really well last time. I underestimated her last time. I actually hit the all button last time, Gary, in this same race. And the favorite got home, of course. She looks good on the track right now. I thought she raced really well in that effort, and didn't want to go against her this time around. But who knows, right? Maybe the Robert on angle will be her detriment. And at 8-5, I wouldn't begrudge anyone for looking for value elsewhere. But I did think she raced really well last time.
Well, and my only reason for saying that the favorite won't win here has nothing to do with Intense Lady. I've just seen it in the past where you bunch of chalk, and then all of a sudden, kaboom at 24-1 or something.
Yeah, well, us horse players like to call the last race of the night the get out pace, right? So maybe that'll be the opportunity for someone.
Well, maybe you can. Well, Porch Pirate's not going to get you out. I think you got to go bombing somewhere else. But Porch Pirate is a logical one because we've seen this one earlier this year was racing well here, and then went to Mohawk, and that didn't work out. Although a second last start. Last race wasn't great here, but now Porch Pirate might be in a spot that suits better.
I think this is a better spot for her. I really do. I think she should be competitive in here, and she's shown she can be versatile in her racing style. Done good things in and around this level in the past, and now gets a barn change, and might be able to either get back to that form we saw in this class, or maybe even take a step forward from it. Taking a lot of support throughout the betting, 2-1 right now, about equal in the multi-leg payouts too with Intense Lady.
I'm looking through my program trying to see where I can find the bomb. I'll get to it a little bit later, but I think I've landed on a bomb. Number 6, Leaving with a Smile, isn't a bomb, but it is Daryl Thiessen for Cameron McQueen. This is one that's coming in off of back-to-back wins at Leamington. And Leaving with a Smile, what do you make of horses coming in from Leamington here? This one gets off the gate.
Yeah, I was actually there on August 25th. First start, Cam McQueen ended up finishing through with broken equipment. Kind of a disappointing effort 3 starts ago, but then turned it around. Big time victory in that 7,000 condition claimer, 2 back, and then last time out beating all winners of 2, and I thought did so impressively. Now this is, a step up in class. There's no doubt about it. Also going to have to go a lot quicker too, right? Getting onto the bigger surface here. This is a fast surface, so it just kind of depends on if you think she can go that kind of speed. I think she might be able to do it. I was hoping for a better price than 5-1 on her. I think she's one you can certainly use in the high 5 everywhere. And if I was going to try to come up with something creative here, I probably have her somewhere on top on a couple of tickets here, but it might be more likely that she lands somewhere underneath.
Number 7, Kanagami Heart, last start at Georgian Downs, parked every step of the way. Still was digging to the finish. I mean, they came home kind of slow, but still beating only 3/4 after parking every step of the way is impressive. Problem is that was August 31st.
Yeah, that's part of it for sure with Kanagami Heart. The one thing I'd say that I like is that I always jump on horses that make that transition to the condition claiming ranks, and she was doing so against some pretty solid horses, Georgian Downs, and she's already been acclimated to pretty quick miles as well. She even kind of held her own in non-winners of one at Mohawk Park, and I think she's probably value right now at 5 to 1. I thought she would take more support than that, but it's probably that stale date that's scaring people away. The post has something to do with it as well.
Okay, I'll tell you the one that I landed on that at a price to pop in here. Soda Queen.
I've always liked Soda Queen. I really have. Like I've backed this horse many times. Just one for 27 this season, but you see 13 on the board finishes. I thought raced well last time to be third. I mean, she kind of didn't have much of a chance the way it played out. She was closing nicely and it was just over a length away from Intense Lady. I'd say she probably maybe had the livest legs on the end of that mile. And again, I think the race has to come back to her though. There's got to be some action. She's not one that's got much speed, right? So she's going to be closing late. Maybe she can get the job done tonight, 17 to 1. That certainly be an opportunity to get out for those that are looking for something big.
Well, off 18 days before the last race, now comes back 7 days later. And you do see this one being in the hunt often, 13 out of 27 in the top three.
Yeah, and I've seen some really nice things with Soda Queen. When she first came out at the Raceway in London, I thought we're going to see this horse do very good things, and kind of just turn into one that has to race from off the pace and a bit one dimensional, which obviously hurts her chances. But again, I thought she raced well enough last time to merit a long look in here. Definitely one I'd be using everywhere in the high five.
Okay, the other one that's a bomb idea is 9 Whistle Shooter. Because post 9 and off a break last time out, so you're going to not be backing this one, but it's also Brett McDonald, Pam Forgy, and a horse that has a win and a second in only 4 starts this year, so you can't have it all. And look at that start at Hanover 2 races ago, just said, goodbye, field.
Yeah, the only thing for me is that I think this one really likes to kind of get loose in the lead from what I saw that time around, and that's how this horse can kind of that's how she kind of does her best work. And I just don't know how she's going to hit the trailing post. She broke from the rail last time. We'll have to see, what she can do from back there. I was going to just kind of watch her this time out and try to come back to her when she gets her nose on the gate.
I'm just saying if there's a bomb idea, because there's a reason why she's 22 to 1, and that's that trailer post not suiting one off of a break that wants to go to the front and now needs to move up a little closer to the gate. And you do see now moving in as this field, and right now Soda Queen, well, that chance of Soda Queen pulling the upset might have fizzled out because it's way back right now. Field for the 9th race. Is at the start, and they're off, and Soda Queen is way back at the start, will be the subject of the inquiry, and leaving with a smile is leaving quickly, and worth repeating. Then Porch Pirate, an Intense Lady, Kanagami Hard, Bet I'm Shady, Staying Fresh, and Whistle Shooter is 8th away. Leaving with a smile, out left the field, worth repeating at 50 to 1, is racing second as they come off the turn. Porch Pirate is third, and Intense Lady is racing on the inside 4th in front of Staying Fresh. And now the field works their way on up towards us, and now moving on the outside. Staying Fresh is on the back of Intense Lady, who's working first over. Then Bet I'm Shady is 6th, and on the inside Staying Fresh, and then Whistle Shooter is racing 8th as they're racing their way up towards the half. 27-3 opening quarter, and the inquiry sign is up, retaining to the start, and 5 Soda Queen, leaving with a smile, has the lead. And it is worth repeating. Intense Lady first up, getting some urging right now, might have flattened out just a touch, and Porch Pirates on the inside, then staying, rather on the outside, Kanagami Hard, then it is Staying Fresh and Bet I'm Shady, and Whistle Shooter now is out 3 wide, and Whistle Shooter is coming from the backfield hard, and it is leaving with a smile. Here comes Whistle Shooter, Intense Lady, Whistle Shooter, Kanagami Hard. Whistle Shooter got a little rough, and Whistle Shooter has got a slim lead but needs to settle down. Kanagami Hard, then Intense Lady off stride, leaving with a smile. They turn from Whistle Shooter and Kanagami Hard, and kicking in late, staying fresh on down the stretch drive they come. Whistle Shooter, and Brett McDonald as they come to the finish with Kanagami Hard. Whistle Shooter, Kanagami Hard, Intense Lady staying fresh and worth repeating. 156 and 2. The inquiry sign is up pertaining to Soda Queen. 35 to 1, Robert. I said I think the favorite's not going to win.
Kind of like this one. I couldn't get there from the trailing post, but you know what? I usually put a little more stock into horses that race well at Hanover. I just didn't see this one. Just didn't see this one going that kind of a trip. I mean, especially getting away pretty much last off the gate with Soda Queen being a non factor, completely missing the start by a mile. And she just circled the field. I mean, you could see there were horses that were struggling, leaving with a smile, kind of just short and stride, and there were others that were very tired, and some of the favorites went a long trip overland, and this one rolled wide. And I said, "Wow, this thing's not losing." Even when she got a little bit rough, I mean, she's still Gonzo. She's going to be a winner. So, yeah, massive win price on a horse that probably gets an inflated number because of that trailing spot and coming off a break in stride.
Well, you called it the get out race. Well, if you were paying attention to what I said about getting out at a price, you got out big time.
Yeah, you definitely can. I mean, that's it's one of those ones too where in talking to many handicapping friends in situations like this, high five races like this, you sometimes look for those bombs and surround them with the most logical horses. And Intense Lady and obviously Kanagami Heart was two of those horses that could definitely land on the ticket, maybe solidify themselves somewhere on the ticket. But those two are surrounded by some serious prices, right? Whistle Shooter staying fresh and worth repeating. So it'll be interesting to see about this high five. I mean, let's see what's in the pool here. We've got $4,000 in the pool, so I don't know. There can't be too many winning tickets, if any.
Kanagami Heart was also my second choice. One of the features of tonight, you had to pay attention to horses that you liked from Hanover.
Yeah, you did. I mean, and again, I always put stock into those types. This is just one that I thought wouldn't be able to handle the trailing post, but you get away last and sweep the field. I guess the trailing post hasn't played that much into it.
Yeah, it just didn't matter. But that's also why you're getting 35 to 1. You can't have it all there, Robert.
No, you can't. You can't. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to come back on Friday night. We got 2 nights left, Gary. We're going to make the most of it and have a good night on Friday.
Rock and roll. Have yourself a good couple days. Whistle Shooter back in front of us. A smiling Brett McDonald, the winning drive from last to first, or second last to first. The inquiry pertaining to 5 Soda Queen. Whistle Shooter, 4-year-old straight shooting bay mare. Triple S Equine, the owner. Pam Forkey, the trainer. And it is the second win this year for Whistle Shooter. And second lifetime. 156 and 2.
Have a good night.
Fans note number 5, Soda Queen, is going to be a refund determined to have been outside of the Fair Start poll. ninth race payouts. 9 whistle shooter, 73, 30, 19, 27, 10. 7 Kanagami Hard, 620 and $3 and 3 10 Lady 230. There'll be a high five carryover of $1,829 into Friday. $2 exactor, $274.70. Dollar try, $394.05. Double of 2 and 5, $3.40. Double 83.20. Dollar pick 3, 95.20. Dollar pick 4, 144.65. Ninth race, order of finish in the top. 463-798-251. That's 463-798-251. Well, fans, that concludes the live harness racing program for this Wednesday evening. Our next live racing event, second last of the season, is this coming Friday with the first dash of 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, John.